Welcome to Fight News Now Extra. I'm your host, John Pollock, and it's another busy day in mixed martial arts. We have a big heavyweight fight coming to Dallas in March, and a massive story concerning UFC light heavyweight champion Jon Jones and an out-of-competition drug test, the results of which have been made public. All that and more on today's show. The news was broken by Kevin Iole of Yahoo Sports that UFC light heavyweight champion Jon Jones was subjected to a random drug test back on December the 4th, and the results have come back showing that Jones tested positive for the main metabolite found in cocaine. Jones will begin a stay at a rehabilitation center, but the test results will not impact the outcome of this past Saturday's bout with Daniel Cormier. The contents of the drug test are not banned substances when found outside of competition and left the Nevada State Athletic Commission with their hands tied and unable to suspend or fine Jones. The UFC has also released a statement supporting Jones as he enters rehab. Many were curious how the UFC's major sponsorship partner, Reebok, was going to react to the news involving one of the key fighters that is affiliated with the brand. Reebok released a statement that they are standing by Jones and the status of their relationship will not change as a result of Tuesday's news. And finally, the Dallas Morning News reported on Tuesday that a heavyweight bout between Alistair Overeem and Roy Nelson has been added to the UFC 185 card on March the 14th in Dallas, underneath Anthony Pettis and Rafael dos Anjos in the main event. Overeem is coming off an impressive stoppage victory over Stefan Struve last month, while Nelson has not fought since last September, where he was knocked out by Mark Hunt. And I'm here with John Ramdeen and Robin Black. Certainly only one story in mixed martial arts right now, and that concerning Jon Jones, and a story that, I mean, you talk about a 72-hour window where this guy felt like on top of the world Saturday night, and we were talking about him. This guy, maybe the best fighter of all time at this point, really in that discussion point. And here we are just 3 days later, a completely different story. What was your initial reaction, John?
Well, my initial reaction was that after reading everything is that Jon Jones knew what was coming down even after he defeated Daniel Cormier, because he was tested on December 4th. So it was a random test. Jon Jones knew what was in his system. So come Saturday night, the night of the fight with Daniel Cormier, I'm sure he knew that after he won, things were all going to go to hell.
Yeah, it's a very weird one, and I wanted to try to look at it from the point of view of an athlete, with a drug problem. Rather than a celebrity with a drug problem. Because we look at a celebrity with a drug problem, we make fun of them, we make crack jokes at them, and it's kind of sad. If you've ever had anyone in your life affected by drugs or alcohol or gambling or any kind of addiction, it's a really sad thing. And in this guy's case, what seems to often be necessary is some type of epic failure. And an epic failure is the whole world finds out that you were snorting blow, 4 weeks out from a world championship fight where you're going to fight a guy who's an Olympian, an undefeated Olympian, in front of 1 million viewers on television. You have a drug problem when you do that, and you have to fix it.
Yeah, I think you sum it up very well in that regard.
However, I just want to weigh in because, we all know, we've heard it for a long time, that this has been an issue with Jon Jones. And if he's been doing this thing for, since he's won the title against Shogun, and he's been able to party while he's been training, going up against Daniel Cormier, what difference does it make? I've taken out the best fighters in the world. Well, this is a part of my routine. And if you have a culture around you where it's like, well, let him party. He's doing what he needs to do to impress the world.
I hear you for sure. And
there is also the criminal element as well, with a Schedule II drug, which has not really been addressed here. If the UFC, I'm sure they had the option that, no, the commission couldn't do anything, but does this kind of violate a fighter protocol in their contracts? I mean, this is an illegal substance, and you get back to the commission here, and I had a major issue that this is a loophole that somewhat needs to be closed. The commission gets this information, and they're handcuffed. They can't do anything about it, and you're going to allow this guy to fight. I would think that as someone that just has an interest in this person as a human being, you probably should not be fighting when we can see clearly there's a problem here.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage that cocaine does to you, and for somebody who's using it a fair bit. And would one guy who's very intelligent make an error 4 weeks out from training? I mean, this will affect breathing, heart rate, and all of these things, liver, organs, sleep, diet, everything. and in ways that 99.9% of elite fighters would never let it, ever. So either you have a drug problem, and he seems to have admitted that's the issue, or you made some colossal mistake, but more likely he has a drug issue, and I'm very against them going and saying, you know, so-and-so failed a drug test for marijuana. Marijuana is not a super harmful thing. In Canada, we seem to have an attitude that it's not that big a deal. You know, some percentage of Canadians smoke weed. But this is a different thing, and for him, yes, never lost a fight, never failed, was a millionaire, super successful. This is his bottom. Failing a drug test publicly in front of everybody is his bottom, and I'm happy that it happened for him.
However, is this a safety net type of thing where it's like, I know I'm going to fail this test. They came in and tested me when I wasn't expecting it. I have to have something prepared. I have to tell the world that I'm going to seek treatment, because what else am I going to say? Oh, this isn't an issue. I'm just having a good time. I'm a young guy. This is what he was supposed to say.
I mean, he failed a drug test 4 weeks out.
Yeah.
He used cocaine 4 weeks out from a world championship fight. You have a drug problem. You have a drug problem if you use drugs on your daughter's birthday. You have a drug problem if you use drugs and you miss work and you get fired. You have a drug problem if you take fucking cocaine 4 weeks out from a world title fight.
Agreed.
Long term, do you think this really is going to impact his image? Because we have watched countless examples of the comeback story that everyone enjoys, and I don't think this guy is going to get persecuted for this long term. I think he's going to return. I think people are going to buy his pay-per-views. It's going to be, I mean, he's taking the right measures here. He's not denying he did this. It's like, hey, I did this. I'm going to rehab. I'm taking care of it. Reebok is standing by him. It doesn't look like there's going to be any financial downfall for this man. I think long term, I mean, should he be able to go through rehab and rehabilitate himself, I think he can return unscathed.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, people already hate Jon Jones, so it's not as if, I mean, this will add to it. I want to see this guy get his ass kicked upon his return. I think it will add to his pay-per-view numbers. But again, I think the most important thing is let's just hope that he and his family are okay, that he deals with this addiction problem.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's been robbed of his potential. Despite the fact that he's successful in every area of his life, but he's not as good of a father as he should be. He's not as good of a fighter as he's capable of being. And, you know, this is a spooky one. You feel weird about it.
All right, great stuff, guys. We have more Fight News Now Extra, so sit back and check it out.